Hello. I wonder if you can guess what I've got in my hand. Look, 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 look. It's a copy of the Daily Mail. I'm so ashamed, but I couldn't resist it. Nadine Dorris's first column. It's her first time in print in the Daily Mail. I have to finish that sentence because it's clearly not her first time in print, as she has 16 novels to her credit, all of which undoubtedly written in the hour every day that she spends writing, and that she's told us all in the House of Commons. So today she's got this whole page. I'm really very impressed with a quotation at the top by Daphne du Maurier, and then she goes on to talking about the Grand National. In fact, I read the whole thing and realised after I'd finished reading it, I couldn't really remember anything she'd said, so I had to reread it, which is a bit of a strain. And are there some points she makes which are worth talking about? Yeah, absolutely. Though I had to do a little bit more research. First of all, she goes on about Philip Schofield and tells us what a nasty person he is, with a lot of finger jabbing, and wondering if he will be nicer now that he's back on air to replace the sublime Alison Hammond. And then Joe Lycett. Joe Lycett, she doesn't talk very much about Joe Lycett, but it seems to be the only bit of the page which has any real content in it. While we're on the subject of celebrity bad behaviour, let's talk about Joe Lycett, a man who stretches the definition of comedian to its limit. I think actually Joe Lycett is extremely funny and extremely gifted and novel, new, refreshing. So he lambasted Nadine Dorries many times when she was Secretary of State for the DCMS, and she tells a story about how he approached her at last year's post-BAFTAs dinner. I don't understand why she was there, but there we are. Anyway, and her daughter stepped in to tell him that he was invading her space. Well, she's never been one really for talking to punters, as Julian Clary would call them. She keeps herself to herself and doesn't answer letters and doesn't seem to engage, but, there we are. Now, The Guardian has said that I have to quote what Nadine Dorries says, because it's not quite the same thing as what The Guardian says. Joe's now moved on to Liz Truss, and as the Mail on Sunday reported at the weekend, even The Guardian feels his shtick on Channel 4's late night lycett risks becoming bullying. One thing it's not is funny. It's so difficult to read. Now, we really need to unpick this, because I think it's an interesting point. The Guardian says that the joke about Liz Truss risks being tired, and it's quite specific. He had Nadine Dorries in his sights. Now he's got Liz Truss in his sights, and in the show, he says one person we haven't managed to book this week is Liz Truss. I really miss Liz Truss. She was our greatest leader, roars of laughter. The finest 1.5 months we've ever achieved. I know I've been unkind about her in the past, and I feel bad about that, because she's a human who eats the organs of dogs. I saw her do a speech once that brought the house down, and then he corrects himself, all the house prices. It's brilliant stuff, really, isn't it? And Alison Hammond was on Joe Lycett too, so she approves of him. She was spanking a drag queen. And it's like Graham Norton rolled into Sticky Moments and Eurotrash. It's quite a heady gesture to the past, including a poster of Lily Savage. So what's The Guardian's accusation of Lycett bullying? I thought I could find no evidence. And then towards the end of the article, it says the joke about Liz Truss risks becoming tired and bullying. So it's not Lycett who is bullying, it's the joke about Liz Truss which risks becoming tired and bullying. And it's very important with humour that it remains topical and focused. And the problem with Liz Truss is she is no longer topical. She is no longer frankly, a subject for topical humour. So I think from that point of view, if Joe Lycett wishes to continue using Nadine Truss, Liz Truss, they are almost interchangeable, aren't they? But if Lycett wishes to continue using Liz Truss, I think Liz Truss would have to do a little bit more on the national and international stage to earn that time. Otherwise, The Guardian is right. It risks becoming bullying. She's simply there as a figure to laugh at. But there is a point to say that Lycett has sort of created the character of Liz Truss that is his own. He can do anything with her now. That is his version of Liz Truss, and she lives on beyond the doomed political career that she has wrecked, and the wrecked country that she left behind, that Rishi Sunak has spent so long trying to put back together again. Not terribly well, but that's what Rishi Sunak's mission has been. He has been repairing the damage that was done in 1.5 months. I think that any form of jokes at Liz Truss's expense are perfectly valid. I also think that as long as Nadine Dorries continues grabbing page 17 of the Daily Mail, grabbing time on Talk TV, or GMTV, whichever one it is, GBTV, as long as she hungers for the limelight in that way, she is also open season. It's got nothing to do with bullying. You can't cry bullying when you are so desperate for fame, so desperate for column inches. So, Nadine, Liz, I don't buy the idea that poking fun at either of you is bullying. Equally, I think Priti Patel, Dominic Raab, Matt Hancock, all of these people are ripe for satire and